Is my screen is visible to everyone? Okay. So yeah. Now let us learn in this today's class how to download the Power BI desktop. Okay. So when we look at this Power BI, there are the two ways that I can share it in the notepad. We have some notes in the notepad. Okay. Yeah. So is my screen is visible to everyone? Hello, can please anyone confirm? You are able to hear my voice and see the
Yes,
screen?
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
done. Okay, thank you. So in the today's class, first we'll be studying about how to download the Power BI desktop. Okay. So if you want to download the Power BI desktop, there are the two ways you can download the Power BI desktop. The first one, you can download it from Microsoft Store. Okay, if the Microsoft Store is in your system, you can download it from Microsoft Store. And second one, you can download directly it from Google. That means you can download from the Google and you can browse and you can download it from Power BI desktop. Now there is one important certification question they will be asking. What is the difference if you download the Power BI desktop from Microsoft Store and what is the difference that you can find if you download the Power BI desktop from Google? Okay, the reason being, see, I have already explained in the demo class. When we download the Power BI desktop from this Microsoft Store, what happens in every month by month, the Microsoft will introduce some new features into Power BI desktop. Suppose if you have installed the Power BI desktop on this month like May and you are using that Power BI desktop in coming months. Okay. Suppose if any new feature is added in the next month, so automatically that new feature will be reflected in your Power BI desktop when you install through this Microsoft Store system. Okay. So as everyone, so we don't need to update or re-update everything. So automatically any updates introduced in the future will be updated when you in the Power BI desktop when you install through Microsoft Store system. And there is another way you can download from the Google browser also. What happens? Suppose if you download from the Google on this May month, okay, and you are start building the reports by using Power BI desktop. But in the next month, like June, if any new feature is added, or any type of new features are added to that Power BI desktop, that features will not be captured in the Power BI desktop. You need to again uninstall and reinstall in the next month also. So this is a difference. So I will see the either way how you can download the Power BI desktop from Google and how you can download through the Microsoft Store. Suppose to install from Microsoft Store, just in the search button, you need to click on Microsoft Store. See, so this Microsoft Store is in my system. So some people, if they don't have that in the system, so this Microsoft Store system should be must to install the Power BI desktop. Just click on the search button or Microsoft Store. Okay, click on this Microsoft Store. Once you click on this, so the search apps, this option will be opened over here. In this, you just type it as Power BI. So once you stop on Power BI, you can see in the fifth here, you have Power BI desktop. Just click on that Power BI desktop. Okay. When you click on the Power BI desktop, it is already the Power BI desktop is installed in my system. That's why, because already I'm working on Power BI desktop. So already it is installed in the system. Now it is asking for me to open. But for you guys, if the Power BI desktop is not installed in your system, it will ask instead of open, it will show the download. The option will be shown as download. So once you click on that download, so the Power BI desktop is installed in your system. But for me, download option is not there. Reason being, I have already installed the Power BI desktop. Okay. Once your Power BI desktop is installed in your system, you can type in the search button or Power BI desktop. So like this, when you after installing, like this, once you click on Power BI desktop, this type of interface will be open. Okay, the Power BI desktop interface will be open once you install and you try. Okay, so what is the next step? You need to click on this back one leg data like Excel that you need to open the Power BI. This is the logo of Power BI desktop. Just you need to click on this blank report. Once you click on the blank report, see this is the Power BI desktop interface. So this is the tool that we are working on. So before going to understand about Power BI desktop, first you need to understand what is the interface of this Power BI desktop. First you need to understand. Okay. So this is the tool where you are going to study in the coming 2 months. We will be studying about this tool. When I open this tool, the first part will be open. We call it as this is called as a report view, where you can see here. This is called as a report view. The reason being, this is the center area where you can build your reports. But when the first time what happens, when as soon as you download the Power BI desktop, in the center, you will find this section, import data from Excel, import data from SQL Server, paste data into blank table, use sample data. So these are the four interface that it will be visible. And if you ask me what is the use of this, the first thing is import data from Excel. Import means that getting the data, that means loading the data. So if your data is stored in Excel, suppose if you store some data in your desktop, you want to get the data. If you want to load the data into Power BI desktop, you will click on import data from Excel. Okay, that is the first step. And suppose your data size is huge and your organization is storing your data in some databases like SQL. Suppose in the SQL server is a database where the organization will store their data. If you want to connect to that SQL server, you will click on this import data from SQL server. Right now, I am not clicking it, just I am explaining it, but we'll see practically how to connect the data. But if it is there, if the data, if your data is stored in the SQL server, your client stored the data in the SQL server, and he will give some credential. If you want to connect, you can click on here. Now, sometime paste data. If you want to create some blank tables, if you want to create the data, some blank tables, that if you sometimes what happens in the Power BI, you can create some blank table by yourself. So in order to create some blank tables, some dummy tables, sometimes you will try to create some manual tables by yourself. If you want to create some manual tables, you will click on this paste data into a blank table. And fourth one, you can see use sample data. Sir, I don't have any data, so I need to do some practice. So in that case, the Microsoft itself in the Power BI, it will provide some sample data. With the help of that sample data, you can practice and you can write some, you can build some visuals, you can write some DAX queries. Okay. So this is the not only way that you can connect to Excel, SQL Server or manual. There is another way also. From there also you can connect. Here we have this get data from here. See, if the your file in it is not mandatory that you can connect from Excel from here, SQL from here. You can create a blank table from here. So first time if you install, this option will be visible for you. But in the second time you open, this option will not be visible. That's why I'm not opening it. But the most of the times you will connect the data from here. See, this is the option where you can connect. There are, when I click on it, it is showing connect to data from multiple sources. Multiple sources means the data may be stored in Excel, SQL Server, Azure. See, when I click on this, your data may be stored in this. It may stored in Excel, sometimes stored in data flows, data server, SQL Server, text. Sometimes you can connect through Wikipedia links. If you give some link, suppose in the Wikipedia, the tables also you can load directly into Power BI. And when you click on more, okay, so you can see, you can click on the SharePoint, you can connect to the SharePoint folder, you can connect to SAP HANA database, Terra database, Sybase database, MySQL database, you can connect to Snowflake database, you can connect to data flows, data marts, warehouses, Azure, okay, Azure blob storage. So different data sources, SharePoint online list, okay. You can connect to different data sources over there. So if you click on database, so what are the database that you can connect, it will show. Okay. So those are the, so if you click on file, what are the different files that you can connect? You can connect to Excel file, you can connect to some text CSV file, you can connect to XML file, JSON file, you can connect to PDF, you can connect to SharePoint. So these are the other ways, like most, if the data is stored, that's why the use of Power BI is, it has got an opportunity to connect to multiple data sources, whether you can store in PDF, you can store in tables, any databases. With the help of the this get data option in the Power BI, we can connect to the databases. Okay. Now I have said like use sample data. Okay, if I want to see some data which is given by Microsoft. Just you click on this use sample data. Now, after clicking, it is showing load sample data. Already Microsoft is providing some data, so it is asking to load. Once you click on load, so some data will be loaded into Power BI desktop. With the help of that, you can do some practice. See, load sample data. As soon as load sample data have clicked, you can see it is showing two tables are opened. Okay, so there is some financial table or there is sometimes sheet one. Okay, so I want to load some financial data which is provided by Microsoft. How to load it? Just you tick this box. After taking, then when you tick the box, it will show what is the data which is present inside. It will show a one preview option. That means this financial data contains segment, country, product, discount, how many products units are sold, what is the price of manufacturing price of the product, what is the price of sale price of that, what is the total sales happen, what is discount, what is the discount provided by the product, sales, COGS means what is the cost of goods sold, profit, what when the product have ordered the product, what is the month number when they ordered, what is the month name, and what is the year, in which year they have, in which date, in which month, in which year they have ordered the product, what is the profit sale. So it is speaking about profit, sales, cost of discount, gross sales. That means these are the financial metrics, right? These are the financial term. So that's why they coded it as financial table. So if you want to see before loading the data which is present in the table, you will see on this preview. Okay. Once you have seen this data, now you want to get the data into your Power BI desktop. For that, there is an option called as load option. Okay. Just you need to click on load. Once you click on the load, the data is now loaded. See, it is loading. That means it is getting the data which is stored in the tables, and it is loading into Power BI desktop. Now the second question you will ask me, sir, you said that you have loaded the data in this into the Power BI desktop. Where I can find the data? So when you click on this right corner, you will find there is one section called as data section. In that, this data section contains whatever the tables that you load from Excel or SQL Server databases, Oracle databases, Azure, or you can do SharePoint. Every data which be loaded in this Power BI in this section. This section we call it as data section. Okay. Now once the tables are loaded, it will contain, see, this is a financial table that we loaded. It will be represented in the data section. Now, if you want to see the columns, just table name, if you want, first it will show you only table name. But if you want to see the columns, this you need to expand this button. You can see that these are the columns that we have seen in the previous section, right? Cost of goods sold, discount, manufacturing, P, sales, segment, units, and year. So these are the columns. These columns are generally arranged in the alphabetic order. See C to Y. This is a general. Now you can see for the some tables from columns it will shown as this cost of goods sold. That means these are the numbers financial. So 100, 200. For this it will give summarize function. So if your data contains date, if the date is stored in the particular column, you have date, order date, sales date, return date, okay, package date. So that will be represented in the form of calendar. If it is a simple text, you will find the same plane. Now you said, sir, you are showing the table name and just column names. Now I want to see what is the data which is present inside the column. If you want to see the data, see now we are in which view, right? This is out of these two, this is highlighted, right? Now you can see this is the highlight. That means we are in the report view. This Power BI desktop we call it as in the report view. Now second one, this when we keep on this, it is highlighted table view. What is meant by table view? In the table view, if you want to see my next is this is the table. If you want to see what are the data which is present inside the column, just click on any one of the column. Okay. So go to the table view. Okay. Go to the table view. Okay. If you go to the table view, you can see what are the tables, what are the columns which are present in this financial table. So you can see in this financial table we opened, right? So you click if any one. If you want to see, like if you want to go to the product column. So if you click on the data view, what happens? What is the data which is present inside the columns? You can see when you click on the data, this table view. Okay, table view or data view. If you click on the report view, you will go to this measure. Okay, the interface that you have loaded. If you click on this data table view, you can see what are the these tables, what are the columns are there. Now, if you want to go to the year column, just to click on year, you'll be going to the year page. If you want to put the sales price, you can go. So this is how this is the table view. Now, what happens? This is the thing. Next one, this is the tables that we have loaded, which are directly given by the Microsoft. Now let us learn how to study, how to load the data into the Power BI desktop, which is stored in your, suppose in the local system. So if you want to load the data first, you need to go to the Power BI desktop. So this is the report view. This is the channel. Now let us study how to connect to the database. So now I will explain how we can connect to the Excel sheet. Okay. So in order to connect to the Excel sheet, so this area we call it as get data. From this we can connect to the data we have set. Click on this. Click on Excel workbook. In the Excel workbook, now there is one I need to connect to some new desktop items. I am clicking on new desktop items. In the new desktop items, there is an option like I can go to some downloads. In the downloads, I have one sample superstore data. Okay, I want to connect to this sample superstore data. This is the Excel which I stored. I want to connect this. If you want to see in the download section, there is one. See in the downloads, I have sample superstore Excel is stored. I want to connect to that. Okay. So just go to the downloads, click on the sample superstore data, and click on open. See now I am connecting. Once you click on that, what are the files, what are the tables, what are the sheets which are present in that Excel sheet? That it will be visible over here. Now that means that sheet contains orders table, people table, returns table. It contains orders in the order sheet. Orders, some information is stored. People, if you want to see that information, just you click on it. So it contains the information related to the order. Okay. So if you want to load all the tables, you need to click on orders, people. That means in the peoples we have two columns that will be loaded. I want to load the returns also table. You click on returns. You these are the columns that are present in the returns table. It will be visible. Now just click on load. Now if you click on load, those tables will be loaded into your Power Sheet. Now, as we are loading the Excel sheet, if you want to minimize this, see what are the tables which are loaded that will be present in the data section. If you want to see the columns, you can see the columns. These are the columns. You want the peoples, you find these are the columns. In the returns table, these are the columns. If in the orders table, if you click on any one of the column over here, so if you want to see the data which is present over here, you can go to the table view. In the table view, if you want to see the orders table, okay, so automatically financial is over. Now you can click on this order, click on any one of the column, you will directly go to that orders table. This orders table is highlighted. In the orders table, you are going to this customer name. Now if you want to close this, no, I want to go to the people's table. In the people's table, I want to go to column one. Just open, come to the table view, click on any one of the column, will come to this column. Okay. Now if you want to see the returns table, click on this column, will come to this. You will see data the table. That means simply to connect to the data, you will click on this. If you want to go to the report view again, just instead of table, you go to the this report section. You will find that this is the data section. Now second one, the third one, we have seen what is report view, what is data view. This we call the third one, model view. So the model view means I have said in the Power Query, like in the Power BI demo, what are the tables which are loaded? We need to try to establish the relationship between the tables, right? That we call it as Power Pivot. After completing the Power Query, we will be dealing with that Power Pivot. This model view means it will list out all the tables that you have loaded. Okay. See, once you click on this model view, you see what are the tables that we have loaded. You have loaded orders table, you have loaded people's table, we have loaded returns table, we have loaded the financial table. These three are coming from where? These three are coming from sample superstore data in the Excel. This is the financial. This is data which is loaded from the within the Power which is provided by the Microsoft, the sample dummy data. So whatever the tables that we loaded here, you can see in the model view. Okay, in this model view, if you want to create a visual, I want to pick out some column from here, suppose date or something manufacturing price. I want to click some date or country from here. If you want to create a visual from this table and this table, some data I am taking from orders table. That means in the orders table, some column from some column, I am getting the data. I want to take the data from the financial table. From one column, I want to get the data. By using these two tables, I want to create one visual, one sample visual. So in the Power BI, we cannot directly make it. So if you want to build a visual with the help of two different tables, the first thing is you need to establish the relationship between this orders table and financial table. Once you create some relationship between the tables, then you can build a visual from these two different tables that we will be studying in the model view in the data model. Now I will not try to create relationship because you will be doing it after 10 or 15 hours of the classes when we study the Power Pivot and when we study the data model like what is star schema, snowflake schema. So that will be discussed in detail like 2 or 3 hours. Just I want to give what is the interface. This is the report view where you can see the report. This is the table view where you can see what are the columns which are loaded in your table. This is the model view where you can see all the tables which you are loaded. Okay. Then this one we call it as the major, the toolbar where you can see the home, or you want to get inserts. So in this also there will be directly we can use some visuals instead of going. See, one more thing before understanding in the home page, one more important thing that you need to study. There are three other phase panes are there that is very important you need to understand. The data pane means whatever the tables you have loaded you see in the data. The second left to that there is a pane called as visualization pane. Okay. In the Power View, in the Power BI demo class, I've said first we'll discuss about Power Query. Next, they will be discussed about data model, and the third, we'll be discussing about Power View. What is meant by Power View? In the view, there is name called as view means visuals. From the data, you can create the visuals. So that you will be studying in after that like 20 hours of the classes. Just now, I will try to create a basic visual. So what you are going to, so with the help of this data that we loaded, by using this data and by using these visuals, you will create the reports in this, the central body. That's why this is called as a report view. So let us create some dummy visual. Okay. How to create a visual? Just I am opening to this orders table. Okay. In the orders table country, we have suppose and we have the sales, or suppose we have this region and region sales. Now I will try to create a pie chart which should show the region wise sales. Okay. Now my requirement is I want to create a pie chart, right? Just here in the visualization such way there is a pie chart. See, this is the pie chart. Just you click on that pie chart. Once you click on the pie chart, you will be visible. See, the pie chart will be coming over here. Now my requirement is I want region wise sales. Okay, there are many regions, 4 regions are there. I want to find the region wise sales. Okay, just how you can create the region wise sales. Just the in the region, what is the metrics that you want to find that you need to drop? I want region wise sales, right? Select the region, automatically it will come here, or you can directly drag from here. So if you select the region, see, select, automatically it will go into legend. Okay, Power BI recognize itself. Or if it sometimes if you throw it in the wrong place, then better you can click on it and you just drag. Okay, region it is there. Values. So region wise sales we want, right? Sales are the numbers. Any numbers you should be drag it in the values. Just come down over here and the sales value. If you click on it sales, automatically it will come here. See, if I select here, Power BI itself recognize and it will drag here. Or otherwise, you can directly select here and drop in the value section. Now you can see a dummy visual that I have created. Okay, see, this is the visual. Now I have created. So this is the area, a report view, where you can build the reports. Now, if you want to add some borders that you will be discussing in the next classes, just to add the borders, just you need to select this. Okay, first step. In order to format this visual, in order to format this visual, there is one option called as format your. That means with the help of this center, you can format your visual, right? Now, once you click on the format visual, two options will be enabled. Visual option will be available. So in the visual, you have some options under the visual. So these options are specific to the chart you select. Suppose you have selected pie chart, these four options will be there. Now, if you select bar chart, this option may change. If you select some table chart, these options will be different. If I select one another slicer or something, this option will change. So these options which are present when under the visual section will be specific to the visual you have selected. These options will be changed based on the visual. Now there is another option called as general. These properties, title, effects, date format, header, tooltips, all these options are common whatever the visual you select. If you select pie chart, you select donut chart, if any chart you select, all these options will be common. Okay. Now if I want to add some border, this to add this border, you can go to the general section. Border is one type of effect, right? you're adding some effect to your visuals. So you need to click on this effects. In the effects, you need to go, I want to add the border to the visual. I need to add the border, right? Come to this visual border and click on. Okay, visual border is on. Now, if you want to add some color, which color you want, expand that visual border. Okay, this is the color it is asking. See, black color we have already. It is color is selected as a black. Okay, automatic. But if you want to change the color, you can give any color. But I want black is okay because the background is white. Now, just it is over. Just you can close it, or you can directly come here. See your visual. The border is added. So this how to add the visual that we discuss in the future classes. But before going to that, I want to give the overview what you will study today, like in the coming classes. Now you have created a pie chart. Now I will ask you to create the donut chart or something other charts. You can directly create. Suppose if I want, if I ask you, hey, give me for some same it represented in the, if you want to represent the bar chart, what you will go, you will go click any bar chart over here. Suppose I'm selecting. So if you want to connect the same chart to this a pie chart, if you want same to connect to bar chart, just highlight this, click on it. If you click on bar chart, it will automatically connect it into bar. And if you want to say convert it into a donut chart here, just click on that. It will automatically connect into donut chart. If you click on this table, it will directly connect it into table. If you want connect to matrix, that will be automatically converted into matrix. If we want to connect to this tree map or something, it will automatically convert into that chart. But as of now, I am creating the pie chart. It will be there. But if you want to create the new chart, you need to come on this empty space. Okay, the empty space. Now I want to create some donut chart. Okay, if I want to create some donut chart, click on here. So if I want to find now region wise sales, right? Now I want to create a uh, I want to create not region wise sales, like segment wise sales I want. So how you need to create, just click on this segment wise sales, right? So segment where you need to drop, you need to drop in the legend, or just you click on segment, automatically it will come here. So these are we have in this data, we have consumer segment, corporate segment, home office. Okay, I want the sales. Each segment is performing. Sales where you need to drop, you need to drop it in the value section. Or automatically if you just select Power Query recognize the sales contains value, automatically it will drop here. Just select here. Now see it is added. Customer service. Now if you want to add the border, don't go and select go to the format visual and I will go to the general. In the general, I will go to effects, and the effects I need to add the border. I need to select this. Don't do all this process. Just already this have already you have added the border to it, right? Just you need to select this format painter, click on here. This automatically the border will be added. Just no need to go and go to the format and do everything. Okay. Now, if you want to create this chart to the table chart or something, if you want to create a new chart out of it, so like this, we have added the power donut chart. If you want to create the another charts like year-wise sales or something, you can directly select the chart and you can give it. So this is the general thing that if you want to find the total sales, okay, sales. What is the sales column? If you want to see the sales column, if you want to see the data of the sales, right? I want to find the total sales. So what is the figure of all the tails? You have see, if I want to see this data, I will go to the table. In the table view, in the orders table, I want to go to the orders table, right? I need to click. In the orders table, I want to click on sales, right? So in the sales, these are the columns we have. How many column orders rows we have in this? See, 999 rows are there. Okay, like this. So I want to add all this sales column and I want to represent it in a single card I want to represent. So how you can represent? So you are in the data section, you need to go to the report view, right? Where you can build the reports, right? So I want to find the total sales value. Just to find the total sales value, to click on card, this card. I want to find the total sales. Just to click on this sales. See, the total fails is 2.3 million. Now, if you want to add the border, what you will do? Just select, click on format painter, 2.3 million. That is the total sale. Now, if I ask you to, sir, you have created sum of sales. I want to create sum of profit. So again, don't select all the chart. Control C, Control V. You select Control C, Control V. This is the sales, right? Sum of sales. You want profit here, right? Select this. Okay. Select this. Remove this sum of sales. Okay. Now you want profit, right? Select the profit. See, total profit, sum of profit you got. Now in this, I want a quantity. I don't want sales. I want quantity. Select this chart. It is showing sales, right? I don't want sales. Remove this. I want totals all. What is the sum of quantity? Select the quantity. You will get the sum of quantity. So in this sum of sales is 2.3 million. If you want to add profit, see, you can go to the here. If you want to sales, you have in this profit also there, right? In the profit column, suppose in the row ID, customer ID, state, profit ID, subcategory, product name, see profit. If you add all the total profit, that quantity it will. If you want to add the quantity 2, 3, if you want to add this items, that items value can 38,000. So like this is the just you can make some amazing visuals for rough understanding. You need to understand if I am saying this is a report view where I can build a report theoretically, but you need to understand how if you open the Power BI desktop, it is your duty to understand if I load the data where the data will be there, how I can expand, and because you are the first time if you are listener, you need to see how I can see the tables, what are the columns, what is the use of these visuals, and how to create some visuals. Okay. Now, before after this, you can see there is one option you can say, what is this filter? See, usually this will be hidden like this in the initial. If you want to see that this is a expand means you will see what is the data section. If you want to see the visuals, you need to expand. See this when you click on it is showing expand, right? You can see the visualization. If you want to see the filters, you can see the filter. Now, see, you are saying what is the use of this filter option, sir? I have said region-wise sales, right? Region-wise sales, it contains West region, East region, Central region, South region. But I want to see this data should contain only the region. See, whatever the visual that you have select automatically will be represented over here. Now I want to see only West region sales. So West is now. So whatever the see here automatically when you select this that region will be automatically detected in this filter region. Now just you want to open it. Now, if you select the central, in this visual, only central visual will be open. See, this will show only central region that you can hard code any region. Now, your client is interested only to show you want to see central and east sales, central and east region sales. South also, central. You don't want to use west. So that means with the help of filter, if you select, you can hard code which region you want to see. Okay, to select the filters you can click on this is the basic filter. If you want to remove if you want to this click on clear filters, all filters will be cleared. See, if I click on now, I have applied the filters. Now if you want to remove the filters, you can remove it manually like this also. Okay, and if you want to select all filters, select all, and you want all filter except west, untick the west, so remaining regions. Now, if you want to clear all the filters at a time, you can click on here or you can click on clear filters. The filters will be removed. So this is the use of filter. When this filter options will be this option you will see when you click on that visual. See this, click on the visual only. See, you can able to see that. And if you want to minimize it, you can minimize. Sometimes require single selection, it will show. That every time I want to show only, if you click on require single selection, you can select only one selection at a time, east. That is also possible, right? This is the use of filters where you can filter the data. This is the visuals where you can visual your data. This is the area where you can drop the columns. This is the area called as data view. So this is the general interface we have studied. Well and good. I am closing it. Right. This is the area where you can build the reports. So this is a table view. This is a report view, table view, data model view where you can see the report. Okay. Now I've said like you have to understand how to get the data from here. See, from the get data, you can connect to the multiple sources. Now you have connected to the two so orders, people, returns table. Now I want to connect with other data sources as well. I want to bring other tables also. How you can collect in the Excel? Just you can collect here. I want to connect to the Excel sheet. The Excel sheet may be stored whatever in the desktop. Just you need to go to that path, Excel. In the Excel, I need to have in the download sections like in the downloads. I have my files like EMP department is there. Yeah, EMP department table is there. I will select this, click on open. Yeah, I want the department table to load it. See, this is a department name, department ID. Look, employee table I want to load. Click on this table, employee. It will show what is the data is present here. Now click on load. See that tables now it is loading. Now you can see this employee and department table is loaded. Okay, this is how you can load the data. Now first thing is, now in the present classes, you will be studying about Power Query. First step, first 15 hours. So forget about this. All we studied about the introduction. Just I want to make you how to install the Power BI and how to load the data and how this tool is generally looking. Okay, this cosmetic changes, you can make a lot of beautiful cosmetic changes, but for your understanding, I have made some dummy visuals for you. Now we'll be studying about the Power Query. So from here in the home section, okay, if you want to go to the any orders table, suppose I am clicking on this orders table, go to the table view. Suppose if you want to see the columns, I will go to the table view. In the table view, I will try to go to customer name in the home table. Right. Okay. Now from this table in the Power BI desktop, I want to go to the Power Query. Now in the recently, before it is in the home, whatever in the previous month here, directly we used to have some table called as transform data. In the uh, first class of the Power BI desktop, I've explained you the data which is provided by the client may not be a structured data. So when I go to the people table, see it is showing column 1 and column 2. Whether this data is not organized. Units column 1, column 2, this is not a good way of represented, right? Every table should have one header. When you open the returns table also, it is showing column 1 and column 2. So this is also some unstructured data. I need to convert this unstructured data into structured data. So I want to make the transformation in the data. To make the transformation in the data, you click on these two dots. There is an option called as transform data. Okay, there is an option. You need to click on this transform data. Once click on here, click on the transform data. Once you click on the transform data, you will go into a separate software in the Power BI that is called as Power Query Editor. Okay, I will try to remove this Power Query Editor. So in the coming 10 hours of the classes, we will be discussing with this Power Query Editor where you can organize your data. You can convert the unstructured data into structured data. You can make some transformations in the data. Okay. Now, when you go to the Power Query, in the Power, how we have gone in the Power BI desktop, there are three dots. From there, you click on the transform data. Once you click on the Power Query data, all the tables which are there will also represent over here. In the first time in the Power BI desktop, these data sections are present at the right side. But when you come to the Power Query, here the data section, we call it as all the tables that you load will be present here right side. In the Power Query, the tables we are nothing called as queries. Queries are nothing but the tables only. Okay. See, this is a financial table. This is a financial data. When you click on order, see orders table data is there. When you click on people, the people's table data it is there. When you click on returns, returns table data is there. Dependent department table, employment table. Okay. Now, first, now we are going to discuss about Power Query. It is your duty to understand again the interface of your data. What is the interface? What is the Power Query? Where you can find the tables? What is this central button? We call it as what is applied step? What is formula bar? What are these options? Okay. Now let us study about the Power Query interface. Right. When you study about the Power Query interface, the first part we this pane is called as query pane. This one, the central part, this part we call it as query pane. Okay. In the Power Query, I will give in the notepad like Power Query interface. See, whatever the tables that we loaded over here, it will be present in the left side. This part of the Power Query, we call it as query pane. In the query pane, what you will see, the tables loaded into Power Query. That is called as query pane. In the Power Query interface, there is another page we call it as the interface we call this central page. See, whatever you are able to see this center, this pane we call it as data pane. Segments in the central part, we call it as data pane and results pane. So that means it will show what is the data which is present in this table. That's why the central pane we call it as data pane. When you click on people, it will show the data which are present in the people. So that's the, and it will show the results which are present in the table. So in the returns table, it contain the results of column 1 and column 2. Department table, it contain department ID, department name. This data or results are there. The central part, which is present here, this we call it as data pane, or simply we call it as results pane. And when you closely up this Power Query, and the third one we call it as when there are many types of options are there. When you go to the home, we have the different types of the options are there. Okay. When you click on over in the transform data, see home, you have different many options are there. In the transform table, we have many options. In the add column, we have the options. In the view tab, you have different type of options. So suppose in this transform in the home tab, this will be helpful for your transforming your data. Okay. Suppose you see how you can make the transformation. I have how many rows columns over here, 990 rows are there. I have different type of the columns are there. Now my requirement is I want out of this, I want to delete all the columns. I want to delete all the columns. I want to choose only 1, 2, 3. So there are many 17 columns are there. Suppose 20, see how many columns are there. You can see 21 columns are there. 999 plus more than thousands are out of these 21 columns. I want only the first three columns and remaining column I want to delete. So in the home, you need to come on choose columns and it will show what the columns you want to choose. Click on this choose column. Out of all the columns, unselect. It is now all columns are selected. 21 columns are selected. Now I want only first three columns: row ID, order date, order. These three columns I want, and remain have not selected it, so that columns will be deleted. Only these three columns will appear. See, if you want to see now remaining removed other columns. What is what in this you have chosen which columns? These columns, whatever the columns that you have chosen, it will appear over here, and remaining columns are removed, and a step is created called as removed other columns. Okay, removed other columns. Now this center area, this in the home button we have these options, right? In the coming class, what we will do, we click on home and we'll study what each and every options will be operating. We will be studying, we will not leave even one option which is there in home. In the coming classes, in the transform table, you will go step by step, and we'll study how each option will be useful for making that. See, this now I said the power query is useful for transform your data. That means in the real time, what happens, you connect to a data which contains some thousands of columns, but in the report you are using, it is you are clear that only 4 or 5 columns are required. So you will don't build the reports, load that data, and unnecessarily you will burden your report. Now it is you are having only 990 rows, 990 rows is okay, it is small data. But sometimes if you connected to the SQL Server database where you have millions of rows and we have hundreds of tables, and some unnecessary tables are also there in you have loaded, and you are clear that these tables are not used for analysis, you will try to remove that columns and you will try to load that columns, and you will happily from this you will try to create the visuals. Okay, so this is called as transformation. You are transforming your data. By doing this, you are decreasing your burden on Power BI desktop, right? When the data is low, your report performance will be fast. It is very simple, like in the cell phone, if you have loaded many apps, like thousand, hundreds of app, but you are using 4 or 5 apps only, you are unnecessary, you are loading data, definitely your performance of your mobile will decrease, right? In the same way, instead of installing all the apps, unnecessary apps which in the mobile phone which you are not using, to improve, if you install like this are Google Pay, Phone Pay, there are some only 10 apps you are regularly using, try to use that apps, then your performance of mobile might be improved. In the same way, you will try to load the data, which load the tables or load the columns which are useful for analysis. Unnecessary keeping the data in your, you will get the visuals. Okay, but unnecessary, you are increasing the burden on Power BI desktop. So this type of transformation you can do. See, I have explained only one options. Remove columns. So if you want to remove columns, if you want to specific remove, click on remove columns. It will show. I have selected the order ID. See, if I go to one step back, I will here. So I want to remove row ID or I want to remove order date. Just click on the order date, click on remove columns, click on remove. See, order date is removed. Okay, like this you can make the transformations. So this is a basic idea I have given, but in the coming classes let us go new sources, recent sources, center data, and each and every option that we will be exploring. Okay, so this is called as wherever you can able to find these options which are there in the Power Query, this phase, actually this area, we call it as Power Query ribbon, or some people are call it as ribbon pane. So this is ribbon Power Query. So wherever different menu based options are present, with the help of you can transform your data. So this area we call it as Power Query ribbon. Some people are calling it as ribbon pane. Just I am giving the introduction, and the next classes, once your interface will become easy for you, and next you can try to make go each and every option, try to explore these options and how each and every options will work. So that is called as this is ribbon pane. Now, when you closely observe over here, whatever the steps that I am performing, it is creating some step over here. Okay, this step is called applied steps. So whatever the transformations you make in the Power Query, for every transformation, it will create one step. This step we call it as applied step. This region we call it as query setting pane. Query setting pane. See, if you want to remove the previous, if you want to go previous steps, just you click on remove the column. So this is appeared. If you go to the this column, see again you go into the first starting step. Now, whatever the transformation if you make, for every transformation, all the steps are recorded over here. So if you are working on report and some other person will have come here and they will see the applied step, yeah, these steps are performed by him. Now, if I want to delete the regions, I selected the region, I remove the region column, remove column, see, removed columns. That means the region column is removed. Okay, in the category it is there. Like okay, so I want to choose the I want to click on the choose columns. In the choose column, I want to choose only. I want to choose all these five. One, two, three. These columns only I want to choose. Click on OK. So these selected columns we have choose and remaining columns are removed. For this also the step is created. So whatever the transformation that you make in the Power Query, it will be recorded in the note called as applied step. This this pane we call it as this area we call it as query setting pane. Okay. Now the fifth one, you are making any transformation at the back end for you are operating to the menu based option, but for every menu based option, Power Query is writing some formula at the back end. See, removed columns, row ID, order date, ship date, these are removed. So it is other than this, it has removed the columns. You have clicked on remove column option, but backend it is writing the formula by itself. So you click on removed column, say region column is removed column, region is removed. Okay, the column. See, previously we have removed the region column, right? So if for this, for every step, if I click on this transform data, in the second class I have selected, okay, now I want to make all these capital letters, right? Suppose. So in the, to make it capital, go to transform data, click on the format. Suppose I'm clicking on uppercase. All these are converted into uppercase, right? Now some changes, some transformation is added in the Power Query. For that, it will create one test. See uppercase test. Okay. Now you can remove also, you can edit also, that I will explain how to edit this so that you can able to what are the steps that you are uppercase. That means in the ship mode it is converted into uppercase. Whatever the steps you make in the Power Query, for everything it will create one step, that is applied step, and for this step it will write the back and see ship mode text upper. That means the ship mode for the classes it convert the text upper, at back end it is writing the formula. So this area we call it as formula pane. So in the next, in the coming classes now, we'll be discussing about this Power Query. Okay, Power we'll study about how the transform tab, what are the options that we work in the transform tab, what are the now one more thing. Now you can ask, sir, you are into the Power Query, how I can go back to my Power BI desktop. So if I want to save these changes I made from the Power BI desktop, I came to Power Query. Now you can ask me, sir, I want to go back to there. How I can go? Suppose I made this transformation. I want to, now you made this transformation, sir, I want to save the transformation. How I can save? To save the transformation, there is option called as close and apply. Once you click on close and apply, if you want to save this transformation, you can click on close. Once you click on close and apply, okay. Now why you are getting errors? This we created region by sales, right? Region column we have deleted. That's why you are getting error. Okay, here for this all we have used the region column, but when I go to the orders table, we have only these three columns are there. Sales column is not there. We have deleted. Okay. Now the Power Query is not able to find those tables. That's why you are getting the errors in the visual. Okay. Don't confuse why sir region wise sale previously graphs are there. This visual has built from region wise sales from the order table. You have deleted region, you have deleted the sales. Now you are getting the errors. That is the reason. Like from Power BI desktop, if you want to go to the Power Query, how you can go? This is the Power BI desktop. If you want to go there, you need to click on this transfer three dots, Click on the transform data, go to the transform data, you will be going over here, Power Query. Okay. Now go to the orders table, remove all the steps. Now see this you have removed. These four steps are called as default steps. Okay, in the Power BI, these are default steps. Now you click on close. Now you came to Power Query. Now you want to go to the Power BI desktop. How you can go? When you click on close and apply, you will go. Now you can see the visuals. Sir, now why the visuals are appearing? So see, region table is there. For this region wise sales, you have the region column, you have sales column. That's why you are getting the visual. Now some people will confusing, sir, how from Power BI desktop, how I want to go to Power Query. From Power Query, how I want to come back to Power BI. Very simple. Click on three dots. When you click on transform data, you go to the Power Query. From there, if you want to come here, click on close and apply, you will come here. Now this is the first class. Hope you have understood. In the first class, what you have studied actually, what is the how to download the Power BI desktop from Microsoft Store. What is the difference if you load from Google and how you load from Microsoft Store? How you can connect to Excel, how to connect to the SQL Server. SQL Server I will explain. How to load the sample data you have learned. From here, from the get data, how you can connect to the data sources we have learned. We have learned what is data pane, what is the use of visualization pane, what is the use of this filter pane, what is the report view, what is the table view, what is this data model, how to establish the relationship between the data model, and how we want from the Power BI desktop, how we want to go to this transform data Power Query, how you want to go. In the Power Query also, what is the interface of Power Query? What is this query pane? What is this results or data pane? What are the applied steps? This we call it as query setting pane. What are the different options are there? This Power Query ribbon. What this for every step it is recording some formula. This is called as formula pane. The center one for every step that you record. Suppose if you go to choose remove columns, if you want to remove the segment column, remove column, segment call is removed. So for that it has steps. See, you have removed the columns, but backend it is writing formula. This area we call it as formula pane. So with this introduction, we have discussed about what is Power Query. Tomorrow, how to load from Google, we can study how to load the Power BI desktop. Now, if you want to save this transformation, what you will do? Click on close and apply. Once you click on close and apply, you can come here. And we have studied how to create some basic visuals. That is Power View. Okay. And hope you have understood. And if you have any doubts, please. Is it clear for everyone? Let me stop the recording. So that, yeah. And one more thing,